To order today, August 19, 2026 at 6:31 p.m. Those attending tonight's meeting should be aware that the meeting is being audio and video recorded by Air Public Access and ASRSD. Any audience members who wish to record any part of the meeting must inform the chairperson, who will announce the recording. This is to comply with the Massachusetts wiretap statute. The listings of matters are those reasonably anticipated by the chair, which may be discussed at the meeting. Not all items listed may in fact be discussed, and other items not listed may also be brought up for discussion to the extent permitted by law. Per the Air Shirley Regional School Committee Policy BEDH, public comment is not a discussion, debate, or dialogue between citizens and the school committee. It is a citizen's opportunity to express an opinion on issues of school committee business. Citizens will have 3 minutes to express their views. Any staff members addressing the committee are reminded of their obligation under state and federal student records laws with respect to maintaining the confidentiality of student record information and refraining from disclosing any personally identifying information regarding students. All right, let's have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Michelle, could we have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Bresnahan, Mrs. Kennard, Mr. Quinton.
Here.
Mrs. Rishu.
Here.
Mr. Rupert, Ms. Stan.
Here. All right, let's have public comment. Do we have anybody in the room or online?
There's no one online.
All right, I will give it 10 seconds. Okay. All right. Due to unforeseen circumstances, a quorum of the committee was not present. It is determined that given there were guest presenters on the agenda, the meeting would proceed and items listed for a vote would be tabled to the next meeting. Given that, I am going to move on to our new business with the introduction of new district administrators. Dr. Arenda?
Thank you. We have two new district administrators, but only one was able to make it tonight. So it is my pleasure to introduce Mr. Nate Diffin, our new athletic director. Many of you probably already know Nate. He has been with us for 9 years. He has been a coach, a paraprofessional, a teacher, and now our athletic director, and a trainer. Did I leave trainer out?
You did.
Okay, and trainer. He's jumped right into it, and so far he's been doing a great job. So we're happy to welcome him in his new role, and I know he has a little bit to share, and is happy to answer any questions that you may have.
All right. Hello, everyone. My name is Nate Diffin. I'm the new athletic director at Air Shirley. I'm excited to get started with my role here at the school. So far, it's been a really good start. Like Dr. Remda had mentioned, I've been with the district for 9 years. I've been able to serve the school in a variety of different capacities, starting with athletic training, then moving into working as a paraprofessional and athletic trainer, switching into the role of being a teacher, and now working my way up to being athletic director. I've had a lot of support along the way. I've been able to influence and care for the students of our community, and I'm excited to continue doing that in a new capacity.
All right. Excellent. Any questions?
Yes. Does it work?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead, Joyce. Welcome. We're glad to have you back.
Thank you.
Sounds like. As an athletic trainer, licensed athletic trainer, I'm assuming,
Yes.
right? And the requirement that we have for many events is to have an athletic trainer present. So does that kind of pull you two different directions, or how does that work for you?
So
Do we have another athletic trainer?
Nate will be keeping some athletic training responsibilities because he's currently working on receiving the certification for athletic director, which will allow him to do some evaluation. So until then, he will keep some, but we will need to have an athletic trainer, especially, I believe football is the biggest.
Yeah. With football right now, we're contracting with UMass to have a doctor on the sideline. Last year, I had to, I didn't have to. I was on parental leave with the birth of my daughter. So during that time, we sort of were able to see what having a doctor looked like on the sideline, and we got a lot of really good feedback for that. So we're hoping that with the combination of using the UMass doctors and occasionally, if we need to, an EMT, we'll still be able to provide the coverage needed for games.
Because mostly we use the EMTs, right, on some of the sports. I mean, it's very tricky because athletic trainers are like hen's teeth. If you can find them, good luck. Because they all need to be at the same place. They can't be there. So that's very interesting. I'm glad you have that
Thank you.
going for us.
Jim?
Yeah, I think, very happy to see that you were selected for this because you kind
Thank
of know how to get to the middle school. You know where pretty much everything is.
Yeah.
You know, you can do all that. But I think the thing that's going to help you the most is that you started part-time athletic training and you just stayed with it and you've seen the operation of everything in the schools. And the one thing that, I talked to when Steve left, I think the thing that made him different and the thing that will make you different is that Steve actively went out there to find kids that aren't doing anything and say, hey, what do you like to do? You know, and we're a school because of our size. If you want to play a sport, you can go play a sport. And I think you're going to have that same type of open door policy. I mean, it's kind of tough to follow Steve given the state championships and stuff we have, but you're not really, from our standpoint anyway, you're not measured on how many state championships. You're measured really on participation levels.
Yeah.
And I think you are a natural fit for that. It's going to be, I mean, you're going to have a terrific time, and we're all very happy to have you in the position you're at.
Thank you. Yeah, I think the amount of sports that we're able to offer for a small school is pretty exceptional. And I think that every year we continue to see students that are signing up for sports that maybe we didn't expect them to play. And we're seeing a lot of students having positive experiences, and we're excited to continue that.
Yeah.
Excellent.
As an aside, that Sierra is now an AEMT. She's done a couple of IOs, and she's working towards her paramedic while she's a senior up at UVM. So good for you. She had a great time working with you.
Thank you.
It's really cool.
Yes, Joyce?
How's it working out with our new football collaborative? So, and the question everybody says, what are we going to do for the Thanksgiving game? Because we don't have Littleton to play against.
I think that's already worked out, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
That's the question
so
I get.
far, what's sort of happened with that is both us and Littleton have new ADs that have come into the role this year. Rich and I have had a lot of relationships so far working together. We're excited to be working together. We're excited to build this team. And I think really the key word is we're pushing the teams to be together.
Yeah.
We want to see them be successful. We want to see competition. And we're hoping to have a really positive experience with Littleton.
Oh, I think
As far as I know, the Thanksgiving Day game has changed, so I believe it's being played the night before against Lunenburg.
there you go.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Sounds perfect.
So I am excited to see you in the role as well. I am glad that you've gotten to grow into the community. So you do have the histrionics, but also you can bring your own flair. Much like Jim said, it's really not a competition between athletic directors, but when you do have background around the school as you're formulating your own plans and ideas, I think that can be helpful. So I'm excited to see what you do, and also the student engagement as well. So we wish you luck in your endeavors, and we're really, really grateful to have you here.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Yes.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm gonna move on to our next agenda item, an update from the Air Affordable Housing Committee. Miss Janet, can you provide your...
I'm in Vegas.
Thank you.
Look,
Thank
it's cold.
you.
Feel like I'm at the town meeting. Oh, I do appreciate, having I asked to come and the invite to be here and everything. My name is Janet Providakis. I'm an Air resident. I am the chair of the Affordable Housing Committee. And with that, we have a forum that we've been doing. This will be now our third forum. I always premise it with, it's going to be September 29th, over at Town Hall, upstairs, 6 to 9. There will be pizza. Okay, we're going to start off with that. What we want to try to do is have individuals learn a little bit more about what has gone on with some of the zoning changes within the town of Air. Also, too, with some of the, it's inclusionary housing is one of the zoning changes. The open space and residential development, there's been, some backlash on that. But we want to go ahead and share on how successful that's been for saving some open space. And with that, some of the questions people have been having about, we're going to call it the ADCs of ADUs, which happens to be the accessory dwelling units. A lot of individuals here, I'll have you pass that.
Thank you.
Further. A lot of individuals think that it's only an in-law apartment, and we want to go ahead and share that. No, you can be using that as a rental property so that you can help pay for your mortgage, things like that. Different type of resources that are available for first-time homeowners, like one mortgage that is available. Give individuals an idea of what can be out there to help them, live within the town of Air. We're going to be looking at the demographics, and with that, seeing on how, okay, great, if you're earning $15 an hour, you're certainly not going to be able to afford a house here within Air. The housing market has expanded and has blown up all throughout, the U.S. But there are different things that we're trying to do. One of them, I can tell you, was like that inclusionary housing. One of the projects that's over by Neshoba Park here in Air, there are 34 units. Out of that, because of that housing bylaw, they have to give us 3 affordable units. 2 of them will be single-family houses. One of them is going to be one side of a duplex. Now again, what's considered affordable? We're going to have definitions of what we call big A and little a. Big A means it's subsidized, meaning that there's going to be some sort of deed restriction. The state does some sort of subsidizing, or maybe the federal government with the Section 8, that type of thing. Then the small a are the individuals who happen to have a multifamily house and they rent out some of those apartments. They can charge pretty much whatever they want to charge. I mean, the market usually decides, but that's how really Devon's Crest had the $500 a month, because he got to charge that little. And now we're happy that's one of our successes as well, that the 114 units are now considered big A because they are subsidized and also too deed restricted. So with that, again, we've got some successes. We're also, too, a lot of concerns for people about what's going to go on with water, sewer. Do we have enough water? Well, the water ban that's occurring now, where you have the water restrictions, that's statewide. You have to go ahead and restrict it. I mean, we should be conserving water anyways, but it's not because we don't have it. But we'll have someone from DPW to talk about that. And, like I say, working on the demographics. I'm coming here because I want to hear from the school board. We've got 95 Fitchburg Road, across from Shop and Save by Anderson's Funeral Home. There's going to be 106 units being built there by a company called, it's NOAA, Neighborhood of Affordable Housing / Peace Properties. That's supposed to break ground next year. So these will be influxes of, families coming in. How's that gonna, impact the schools? We want to work together. And I believe Katie, our new community development director, spoke a little bit with you, Dr. Rendell, of some of the demographics of the schools and everything. I'm offering you guys to come on in September 29th, hear what's going on within the town. It's going to affect, like I say, Air Shirley School District, and I think that would be good. There's going to be pizza. Oh, did I mention that already? But I want to hear your feedback too, of some of the things that you may want to hear within a housing forum. Like I say, some of the other boards have said, oh, it would be great if you're going to be doing these types of projects, do a community garden inside there, just so that people can go ahead and build their own, grow their own foods and so I'll shut up and let you guys take the floor and tell me what your feedback is.
Jim?
Yeah, I don't know what areas, and I know that you have, you passed Community Preservation Act. Have you talked about how you can use those funds to help some people? Because, you and I both know the affordable units, not so affordable for a lot of people.
No, understood, because we're part of the Boston market.
But have you talked about being able to use some of those CPU funds to help some other people get into those places?
We do already. We have a rental assistance program that
Good.
now helps 14 families within AIR. It's grown from 8 all the way up to 14
Right.
in the past 4 years.
Right.
And also too, they can go ahead and if someone wants to put in affordable housing within their location,
Right.
it's like, let's, do it. We can go ahead and work with the CPA
Right.
funds. That's how we also helped out Devon's Crest.
Right, right. The other thing you might want, and you may be doing, I'm just talking about,
Please.
having no background, I'm just going to spit it out there, but
Please, go for it.
having, tramped all over the area, taking kids to various soccer venues, a couple of times, Tewksbury and I forget where else, maybe right there where we're at. They were at big developments, and one of the things the planning boards were very successful doing, like you're talking about a big unit off of Route 2A, is saying, look, are you going to put in all these units here? We want to conserve some land so you can make your zoning adjustments that way. But we also think, kids aren't going to ride their bike down Park Street and through town to get to Peroni Park. So we're thinking that maybe you have to be able to make something here that's going to be more inviting for kids to be able to do something. And before all the finals approvals are there is your leverage point where you get to work with the developer and press them for exactly what they're going to do. Because once things are approved, absolutely nothing happens. And approvals, especially with this back and forth, can take a long time, which is to your advantage. So you can push to them saying, how long do you want this to take? We could do it the easy way or the hard way. And now is the chance, the development's going to happen anyway. But now is your only chance where you can really force some other things to have happen. And they're going to be making money, which is, they're in business. That's what they're there for. But they have to give back too. You're here, you get paid the same amount we get paid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, right,
Double time.
right. Because you want a better community, and now's your chance. You guys have the big stick, and it's time to use a stick. So make sure that they're ready to swing the shillelagh.
All right, no, like I say, that sounds good. I know that many times, like say, this big development down on Fitchburg Road, they are going to be connecting the sidewalks and such so that they're able to continue all the way down to the train station,
Yeah.
right? And that's one thing that I know the town itself is working on, to make sure with that. And I know that some of the other bigger developments have created paths going to the bike path, going to downtown. So it's little things like that, but I've got it down here that, accessibility and making sure we work with the planning board.
Go big.
That's good. Thank you.
Joyce?
This is probably on a side topic, but something that I'm running into. So where we say people have a house and maybe it's getting more difficult to pay those taxes and stuff, and they would like to bring in a extra person.
A renter.
Yeah, renter, thank you. Is there much availability in the town of Air for that?
Again, I don't know, we're going to be having Ron Moore.
I didn't know if it was fair to ask you that.
Oh, no,
I
it is
just-
fair to ask, and I'm going to be asking Ron Morrison from the real estate agency downtown, all right, to have him give us some facts of what's available and what's not available. You got to remember too, when it's a private home, unless somebody says something, you don't know. And we'll try, we'll try our best to see what we can come up with. But I know he does have a good idea of the number of houses, with, that type of availability. But a lot more, I found this amazing. There is a group of individuals that are taking some of these large houses that were separated because of the Army being here and everything, and making them into single-family homes, back to a single-family home. And it's like, wow, right?
Now we've lost 3 units, right?
Exactly. And it's, it's their private property, and as long as they stay within the bylaws, they can do, pretty much whatever you want to do.
Because I think that we think that we're not city, and therefore we don't have a homeless problem, but we do.
Oh, no, we do have a homeless problem. Oh, yeah.
And I don't mean just Air, I mean the general region. And I'm running into it.
Yeah.
So I've tried to find, I didn't have all the time in the world, but I tried to find a place for someone. And
Definitely reach.
almost impossible.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that, I hope the town of Air brings back somebody like a case manager or a social worker, to be able to assist in that, because you've got the Air Housing Authority downtown that can go ahead and assist with some of that, and it would be nice. But also, I know Ron and Pat down at the real estate agency down there have helped individuals. Because a lot of these homeless individuals just want an address so that they can get benefits. Because you can't get benefits unless you have an address. They don't send a check to a P.O. box.
There is help for someone who is in retirement age, and more of that, but we, even for that demographic, we need some more available, easily available, not huge housing. We're not talking about it.
No, I know that. That's one of the things that, again, I have always, and you can hear it multiple times, looking for little small cottages that are built around each other so that, you almost watch over your neighbor and everything. I've seen so many developments. There's one beautiful one in Westford, and there's like 20 little cottages that face into each other with a porch and have that little, center, that little common in the middle. And it's wonderful to be able to have something like that, so that people, first-time homeowners, or people want to downsize, it gives them something to go to. But you need, again, Air is only 9 square miles, so we don't have a lot of room, but it would be nice to be able to find something, so at least we can build something like that.
Interesting. Very interesting.
All right, thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Anything else from the school itself?
Well, anytime there's additional units, that's always going to have an effect on the school. It's funny, our enrollment projections typically tell us that our enrollment is going to decline and our population will decline, and then we see really we don't see that. We've held pretty steady, at least the past 5 years, but we always would like to be informed when there are going to be developments so that we can plan. We are fairly close to capacity in most of our buildings right now. So depending on how many families move in with kids ready to go to school-age children, as compared to families who move in who will probably be having children soon, it's good information to have so that we can plan, especially since we will probably be submitting a statement of interest on a new building project relatively soon, possibly this year, if that is the will of the school committee.
All right, no, that sounds good. I know that Old Town Village is going to be producing another, I think it's 42 units over on Littleton Road. I
Really?
do know of those. Those are the 2 big major projects that I'm aware of right now. We do have smaller ones that are 9 units, 6 units. Again, because of that inclusionary housing, if you go over 5, one has got to be affordable. If you don't want to do that affordable, you can do in lieu of that, and give funds to the housing trust, which does that rental assistance, plus also too, they're looking at other things within that housing trust. So we've got balls moving, but the whole thing is we're heading in the right direction. We've got some pretty good teams, but there's always more, because again, when you talk about inventory, if you've got 10 people looking at one house, that price is going to go higher and higher. But if you've got 10 people looking at one house, you may make more enticements of getting somebody to buy it. So with that, it's a difficult slope. You look at inventories. All right, but any type of feedback, the office can go ahead and get in touch with me if you've got anything else that you want to add, please. And come September 29th.
I'll be there.
I'll say it again. Pizza. Okay?
Okay.
All right, again.
You keep inviting people, you may not have enough. You might have to go out in the middle of the meeting and get more.
We can always do that because there's stuff right down the street.
All right.
I've done that myself.
All right, you got it.
Awesome.
All right, again, thank you so much for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
Of
Thank you for
course.
coming.
Thank you.
Okay, no problem.
Right. Okay.
If I may, if
Yes.
we could go out of order, we do have one other presentation.
Yes.
Do you mind, it's actually
Absolutely.
part of the superintendent's report, but if Mrs. Bozak and Mrs. Bills want to come up?
Okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Tara, I didn't see you hiding behind the podium.
I love the headband. We wanted to show you, or is it gonna?
Yep.
A presentation of some of the programs that we bring in during the extended school year, which is, we call ESY. That is for students with disabilities that we are concerned would have regression if they didn't have summer programming.
Okay.
But we work really hard to provide some really wonderful, rich opportunities for them that tie into the curriculum. And ASEF was so wonderful and awarded us a grant. And I have Mrs. Phils with us. She's one of the administrative assistants for the special education department, and she has been instrumental in helping to write grants to bring these programs in and to have me nagging her to find some really rich opportunities for our students. So we would love to show you this, and I'm actually going to let Mrs. Phils, because she put this together, walk us through this presentation.
So thank you for having us, first of all. So this is a picture of our air library, came to visit, along with the Shirley Library, but this was a cardboard cutting machine that they brought, and the kids were able to create with the machine. It's completely bladeless, and so you can touch it without being hurt. And the kids thoroughly enjoyed that. It's just a quote.
We do try really hard when we bring in outside resources from, outside of the community, but we really try to touch base with businesses within the community where students will now have somebody from both of the libraries to talk to them, and they'll bring in library cards, and you'll see some other resources. Usually we do a Touch a Truck event, but this year we gave all the departments a break from us, and we'll be back with them next year.
So this was the other side of the gym at the same time, with the Hazen Memorial Library from Shirley. And she was teaching the older kids about sharks, and reading them a story, giving them some tattoos, some bookmarks. She did a craft with them as well. Officer Schaefer from the Harvard Police Department happens to be a Shirley resident that I've grown up with, and his canine comfort dog, Franny. So I called in a favor and asked them to come visit. And I know I have faces blurred out so you can't see the kids, but particularly the one in the red shirt is a nonverbal child. And he lit up the entire room when Franny came walking in. He was able to climb on Franny and snuggle with him, and the kids just absolutely adored him. So it was nice. We do have Maverick here in the district, which is great, but it's nice just to bring somebody else in for them to see.
And Franny is pretty famous. Franny has their own Facebook page too. So
She has her own swag. All the kids got Franny stickers. So this was just, each week I tried to do something different for the teachers, just do an extra thing with their kids. So the first week we did grass growing, as you can see. So the Guthrie Brothers Landscaping Company donated grass seed for us. And so we did various ways, little cups that the kids decorated, or egg crates. So the kids really enjoyed watching their grass grow through all 4 weeks. This just, again, can't show any faces, so we made a big thank you card. just to say thank you to ASF and all the wonderful people that came in. Animal Adventures out of Bolton is one of the kids' favorites, mine too. So they brought in several different animals, and we had 7 that the kids are able to, for the most part, touch all of them, learn about them, and interact with some of them. I think there's like 3 pages of them. Yeah. So this is the snake, the boa constrictor, the ferret, which kids love because he can hula hoop and bend all kinds of ways. And
Or the way my grandson described it is, he does this.
yes, exactly. So then we had a small alligator and an alligator snapping turtle, which I didn't put a video up, but we got to watch the alligator snapping turtle eat a cucumber, and it was a quick little snap and it was gone, and the kids absolutely loved it. But these are, this is a place that kids don't always get to go to, and animals they don't get to see. So it's very important that we bring them in and expose them to that. Mrs. Lewis graces us with her presence every year and her guitar and her singing. So she came in to sing with some of the kids. We had Dr. Brown's dental office come in and teach the kids about dental health, and they all left with a free toothbrush. And I found it really interesting that some of the kids had enough courage, I guess you'd say, to like get up and talk to the hygienist after and ask questions about stuff that was happening with them, and that maybe they hadn't been to the dentist in a while and they had a question about something, so they advocated for themselves, which was great. My favorite, Strega Mama. So she's a storyteller from Groton. She presents her stories all over AIR in the Little Bee Bookshop, and she does all kinds of stories. Last year she did Encanto for us. This year, obviously, The Wizard of Oz. So she came in and had the Yellow Brick Road. The kids got to walk down the Yellow Brick Road at the end and get a green emerald. They were able to put a heart in the Tin Man and help out with all the other guys. This is the Stars Above Planetarium. So as you can see in the top left picture, it's a big blow-up planetarium that went into the gym, and then the kids were inside. And so those other pictures are pictures from inside the planetarium and what they got to see. So you don't often get to see a sky like that around here with all the lights. So it was nice to be able to show that to them.
They were so excited.
This was just a fun little STEM project that we did. We had some tiles and some Sharpies and a little rubbing alcohol. Some of the kids chose not to do the rubbing alcohol part of it and just drew, which we have amazing little artists in our district. They had a blast doing that, and then we sealed them and put felt bottoms on them so they could take them home and use them as coasters. Again, just a thank you for week 2. This is Mr. Bellino, our music teacher over at Page Hilltop. He came in and worked with all the kids, the program kids upstairs. He did a music pizza, and so they played music and put toppings on the pizza to each tune. And then the older kids all went down to his music room where they got to interact and try out the keyboards and the drums and the ukuleles. We had a little shark visit.
Yes, we did.
We did.
Resident shark.
Just happened to have a shark costume. So shark came to visit, teach the kids that, they're not all so bad. We had a nice marionette show. Rosalita's puppets. This was I'm not gonna lie, it was a little bit tough. Some of the kids, it was a little too little for, too little for them, and they were a little bored. But we did have a group at the end of first and second graders that stayed for probably 15, 20 minutes after, because she allowed them to walk behind and see how it was all done. And they were just completely impressed and asked all kinds of questions. She actually showed them a puppet that she made at their age that she still uses in the production. So yeah, it was pretty great. I thought
We
it was
had
great.
and students that stood up to actually interact, because we all know that the social emotional piece is really important, and giving them opportunities to feel like leaders or confident in front of the group is really important. And I want to say pretty much everybody has given, that we've brought in, has given those opportunities to students. So
Okay, just another thank you. So this was Challenge Island. This is
Amazing.
normally a week-long program that comes in and takes over your school. But he did a 1-day, 1-hour crash course with us. So he brought in all kinds of materials, cardboard, stickers, pool noodles, anything you can think of. And the kids were all given little mini plastic skateboards. And they had to work in teams. And they had to create skate parks. And it was so awesome to see them all work.
If you want to be professional, you call that a fingerboard.
Fingerboard, thank you.
Fingerboard.
Thank you.
That's a fingerboard. That's an official title for that.
Okay.
We'll invite you next summer.
So these are just some more pictures of what they created. And he really, he had a couple pictures of how to build a ramp or stuff like that. And he had one example for them to look at. But other than that, these kids came up with all of this on their own.
A lot of great science.
And then our final day, we had Stephanie Beach Magic, and she came in and brought a bunch of kids up to do different magic tricks. She even levitated one of the kids at the end. And so it was fun to see them laugh. We had a really nice Lego donation last year from a friend of our office, and we give those buckets to the kids, and they get to just build all week, or all 4 weeks. So again, if it wasn't for ASAP and their grant, we wouldn't be able to do any of this. So we just thank everybody for the support.
Excellent.
Thank you.
Jen, Joyce.
Thank you.
How many kids were involved? Just an overview?
Roughly 60 this year.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah, a little bit lower than normal in the past, but it was a good
So
group.
from age,
We went
5?
kindergarten through 11,
Yes, up to grade 11 this year.
so elementary, basically.
all the way through high school.
High
We
school.
did have middle and high schoolers, and it was,
I mean, age 11 or?
No.
No, grade
Oh,
11.
grade 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kindergarten
Yeah.
through grade 11, sorry. Yep.
it's really great to be able to, because we know that they have to attend summer school, and sometimes their neighborhood students don't need to. So creating an environment for them that makes learning fun, it has them more involved in it. We had students who at the beginning were like, the parent was like, we're only coming 2 days, and then after day 1, the mom called and she's like, I'd like them for all 4. I was like, great. So yeah. It was really, and the staff is so amazing that continues every year to come in and work. And we do special things for them every Thursday,
Every
so
week,
that they,
the staff gets it.
to thank them for keep coming in.
So this year they got a dirty soda bar.
And it's donations
all
from our
donations
towns that
from,
do this.
the grocery stores. O'Neill donated popcorn, so we had a popcorn bar.
Yeah,
The last day we did an ice cream truck.
yeah, so, yeah.
So we try to make sure that they know how appreciative we are.
Can we come?
Yeah, absolutely. We'd love
Right?
that. We need guest
Forget
speakers
this.
and,
I
yeah.
missed the ice cream truck.
Jen?
Well, you
did.
didn't come down for dirty soda
I know,
either.
but we just wanted to
We
share
did fruit
this.
salad.
No, it's really great.
Salad one day. You missed that too?
Missed that.
So great. And we're so thankful to ASAP. I mean, we've been doing this and I've been writing grants and we get the money out of the 240 grant, but sometimes if the funding isn't there, we go in and ASAP, and they've just been really great because they've done this twice for us, funded these. So,
So Jess, I'm glad Franny worked out, because Winston would not have worked out.
No, he
No,
would not have.
no, unless you had a tennis ball, then you'd be,
Unless you get- or a
then you'd be
rock,
okay,
a big
right?
rock.
Then you'd be all right.
Winston was one of my ducks.
I would give an ad for Animal Adventures. I was looking for some, I have grandchildren who stay with me in the summer, and they had 2 days that I needed to work. Animal Adventures is only in the morning or in the afternoon. They're on the other corner of Harvard from us. And these kids were 8 and 11, whatever. And I'm like, okay. And it was fairly cheap because there was no lunch. It wasn't all day, and it was like 2 hours or 3 hours. They came back each day so excited. And like I said, my youngest grandson was like, I like the ferrets, they do this.
They have a new location in Hubbardston as well.
Oh, they do? Okay. Well, they
But
were,
yeah, they're.
did they move out of that?
No, they're still in Bolton.
They're still in
They
Bolton?
just have
Yeah, it's
another-
right at the edge
yeah.
of Harvard. So it's open to the public. And then they go to schools and to institutions all the time through the year. But when I dropped him off one day, this guy was trying to catch some rabbits to take with him. So he was all over this pen trying to round up some rabbits. It was kind of fun. The kids were already doing stuff, but I got to watch the roundup, so it was good. Very nice people.
Thank you so much for letting us come at the last minute off your agenda. And
Of course.
show this.
Of course, we
you.
appreciate
There you
it.
go.
Thank you. Okay, so we will go back to new business. Submission of CAPS Collaborative fourth quarter financial report. Dr. Renda?
Thank you, and that's exactly what it is. We are a member of the CAPS Collaborative, and they are required to submit a quarterly report that is presented or given to the school committee for approval. The relationship with CAPS has been going very well. We do have some CAPS students in Page Hilltop Elementary. There is a program that is run there for deaf and hard of hearing kids, and they are actually part of our classes and a great addition to the district.
Excellent.
And
That's it?
that fulfills the requirement.
Anything, Joyce or Jim?
No.
Joyce, anything?
What is the group that has the 2 rooms here at the high school?
Keystone.
Keystone.
That's Keystone. Thank you. I couldn't remember. Thank you.
Okay. All right, so that was fairly easy. All right, I'm going to go on to ongoing business for the FY26 budget recap and FY27 budget update with Mr. Plunkett.
Thank you. I want to point you towards this executive summary you have in your packet. This was compiled by our financial consultant, Mr. Dan Deedy, who's over there sitting in the first row. Thank you very much, Dan. The FY26 budget was actually certified and recertified 4 different times, March 4th and March 19th. We received good news on our health insurance. It was down about 7% from where they had started telling us it was going to be. And so we added about $300,000 back to the general fund. So we recertified on March 19th. And then going into the new year, fiscal year, July 1, 2025, we noticed that we were running a little tight on the budget, especially with salaries, when everybody came back in September. So with the help of Mr. Deedy, we identified some revenues that were running ahead of budgets that we were able to move into our budget. We had a third payment for transportation reimbursement. We had interest income. Our treasurer had got a better rate and better deal with our overnight investments, so we were able to use that. And we added an additional $400,000 to our general fund budget back in December of 2025. And then things were going right along, and then we started talks with the Department of Ed and Department of Revenue regarding our deficit from FY25, which was $651,949, and how we were going to go about closing that out. So their recommendation was to add it to our FY26 budget, which we asked the school committee to transfer from E&D and put that on to the FY26 budget. So it will be closed out during the E&D process at the end of the year. So that was the 4th time it was certified, or recertified and then certified again. At the end of the year, we were hoping for a positive balance, and we did end up on the positive side at the end of the year for FY26. We have general fund balance of $4,175. This was arrived at by moving, first of all, discussions with the administration and Mr. Deedy. We decided to try to bulk up our revolving accounts again, and so we decided to go with choice. So we took salaries out of choice and put them back into the general fund. So the general fund a balance was $4,000. There was $356,000 in choice. So we have that going forward outside of the E&D process, because the E&D isn't available until the next year. So that balance in school choice will be available as we go. As we're in the FY27 now, we're able to use that as needed. So we did end up on the positive after all those certifications and recertifications. And we are looking to continue to build our revolving accounts back up. We did use, we came to the school committee twice to ask for the use of this capital stabilization. First time was $300,000, and then the second ask was $200,000. And we did draw that down. We ended up with a balance of $304,000 still in the capital stabilization. And we also asked for $300,000 for the SPED reserve, from the SPED reserve. And there is a balance available there still of $100,000. We would like to target those accounts for future E&D transfers, so we could start building those back up again. But that was needed to right the ship and write the budget at the end of the year. And fortunately, it did work out with a positive balance in the general fund and a healthy balance in school choice. We also have been working on our student activities. We have two of our student activities accounts that are in a deficit, and we've done a lot of research on this, and it appears that back about 6 years ago there was some purchases made from the high school and the Page Hilltop that were made out of student activities, but they weren't replenished. Whenever there is a payment out of student activities, they write the check and it goes out, and then through a transfer system, we transfer the money back into their account. If we cut the check, we transfer the money from their account back to our depository. So it goes both ways, depending on who's cut the check. But it appears that those purchases back in 2019, one was for the playground at the back of Page Hilltop, and the other ones were the neon sign on the front of this building, the Panther logo with the AS, and also the weight room, furnishing the weight room was together. It was about $100,000 for the high school and $40,000 from Page Hilltop. So we have asked our treasurer to make transfers with all the backup that we could find, showing what happened, and he will be able to transfer the funds from our depository to those two student activity accounts and get them out of a deficit. And going forward, this will be not seen as, or will not reduce our E&D. The Department of Department of Revenue will go through our E&D and look for any funds that are in a deficit, and if you have those, they subtract them from your E&D. So that together, that's about $140,000 just for those two accounts, and we'll be continuing to look at working on getting all of our deficit accounts off the closed out, either to school choice or to other grants that are stale. So we will be working on that, and that's a deadline of September 30th. Okay, with the student, the auditors, our treasurer, and we were all on board with that resolution for those student activity accounts, and we will be doing that. That will be taking care of that between now and September 30th. Going into FY27, we have some good news on the revenues. Our second payment from FY26 for transportation reimbursement came in after July 1st, so we're going to book that to FY '27, and that will we'll have 3 payments in our transportation reimbursement fund. So that again will be available down the line if we see that the budget needs to have additional funding, that it will be available if needed. We also have some Chapter 70 funding that is less, that the state has more than that we budgeted for, so that will be another area where we could go to if we wanted to increase the revenues in the FY '27 budget. So we'll see how we are as the year goes, and if we need to, we would request a recertification to add those revenues if you guys approve that. So, nice to have a little buffer.
Approved money coming in?
Jim, do you have anything?
Sounds like a hard question.
Okay, I want to make sure, because I naturally look this
Like an
way. so I wanna
oxymoron.
make sure.
It was an incredibly difficult budget year last year, and I want to thank Mr. Didi, Dr. Cleary, and Mr. Plunkett, as well as our grant writers, everyone in the business office, and Michelle. We were able to get through that. We're in a much better place right now than I think we were in the past. And what's even better, moving forward, some of these hits that we had on E&D and some of the processes are now up to date and where they should be. So not that it creates money, but we're going to be able to track every penny much closer than we've been able to do in the past. So it's been stressful and a lot of hard work and a lot of digging, but you know, everybody sitting at this table in the business office has done a ton of hard work to really get us to where we need to be, where we can make really informed, good decisions, both fiscally and academically. So thank you everyone for that.
Well, and in the current world, we're not going to see money just walking in the door, so.
Right.
We've been able, over the years, we've done a great job making it to the next year, but with a lot of machinations through, as we had to been pretty quick to it. And this will at least let us know that, missile headed your way, film at 11, but you still have 3 hours to figure out what you want to do before it just arrives on your doorstep, and then just have to lay everything out and figure out where Peter is so you can give it a Paul. So right now we have,
exactly
I think,
right.
Our setup structured so we're going to have a much better live time view of exactly what's happening from a financial standpoint, which will not always good news, but you have to know the actual numbers. So regardless of how that goes, that's going to make everybody's job easier.
And it's already paid off. I can tell you that there was a unexpected cost that came in July. It is one that is absolutely relevant to education and that we are responsible for, but it is one that we could not have possibly budgeted for because of move-in scenarios. But because of the situation that we're in now, knowing that the extra payment for transportation is being booked to 27, it cut our anxiety from a 10 to a 2. There. But
there's still a bump in the road.
and there's always going to be. I mean, we can't control our costs as far as who chooses to live in our 2 wonderful communities, right? And sometimes that comes with the cost, and it's cost that is it's ones that we have to try to plan for and deal with, and they're unexpected, but they're needed. So not complaining about the need. It's just the being able to plan and know what we have is very helpful.
Excellent.
You can't control the need.
We can't control the need. No.
Right.
Semi-related, but did I think last spring we talked about maybe talking to some of the parents who have kids are out of district to see if there are any families that were interested in kind of picking up responsibility of that for price. Was there ever anybody take that?
No, not yet.
Yeah.
No, we're still trying.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I was disappointed about is the actual number that we could reach out to was less, because what happens is Some of them, we're already cost sharing the ride, so there's more than one kid or
Right.
one student on the van. So if one student says yes, but the other two say no,
Right.
our cost actually increases.
Right.
Because then we would be paying for the van, it's still the same
Right.
cost.
Right.
And then paying a family, so it dropped the number that we could actually ask.
Yeah. Are there any contract restrictions with D? Because you go to bid the contract, they're expecting this. Now you can't, like, they're a bargaining unit. You're taking things away from them. Do they have protections within their contract that limit how much of that you can do?
I don't believe with special education transportation there is absolutely with with the big yellow buses.
That is, procurement, it does not apply to sped transportation.
Okay.
Okay,
Right.
good,
Right.
okay, good.
Excellent. Thank you all for your hard work, and we really appreciate that. So I'm going to move on to our superintendent's report.
Thank you. So some great news. Air Shirley Regional High School is a Best High School winner. The high school earned high national and metro area rankings in the 26-27 Best High Schools, which is from the U.S. News, and that was released, I believe, this morning. It might have been yesterday. This is something they release every year. Air Shirley Regional High School is ranked the 111th within Massachusetts and 82nd in Boston Mass Metro Area High Schools, and ranked 2,677th in the national rankings. Schools are ranked on their performance in state-required tests, graduation, and how well we prepare students for college. So that is great news, and I believe that's up 4 spots from last year, if I'm not mistaken. We welcome back all staff on August 24th, Monday, August 24th. They will all report to their individual buildings. The first day of school for the 26-27 school year for our students 1 through 12 will be Wednesday, August 26th. Our kindergarten students will join us for their first day on Monday, August 31st, and our preschool students on Monday, September 7th. New teacher orientation was held this morning at the middle school and run by Mr. Cleary. We have 19 new teachers joining us this year. We had our leadership retreat this August, where district and school leaders engage in professional learning with the help of the Lynch Leadership Academy. We focused on dignity-affirming leadership and creating school environments where students feel valued, respected, and supported. The retreat also included legal updates and collaborative planning to ensure our schools are well prepared for a successful start of the 26-27 school year. We would like to take a moment and thank our custodial staff. Our custodial staff has worked tirelessly this summer. We have ESY going on. The middle school has summer in Shirley. The high school always has things going on, so they have to work around all of these things. Not only that, but they actually, the custodians went to a 4-day work week with some of the collective bargaining this summer, and it seems like schools will be ready to go. They work to get that on. Part of that 4-day work week is increased hours those other 4 days. So thank you to all of our custodial staff and Mr. Briggs for working to get the schools ready to open. There is a new MCAS family portal, so families were notified today that by the end of this week, we will be sharing information with them about how to access the MCAS family portal, which provides online access to the students' MCAS results. Before sending the information, we wanted to make sure the process and timeline were finalized so parents received clear and accurate directions. Later this week, families will receive information on how to find information that they need in our Aspen family portal. That they will be able to use that information to access the MCAS family portal, and then how to actually view their students' MCAS results. We will still be sending home a copy of last year's MCAS results once they are finalized this fall. All of the data is still embargoed, which makes this kind of really interesting because we won't be able to answer questions for families as far as how their student did versus anyone else, school average, state average, because all that information is embargoed. So it's an interesting timeline from the Department of Ed, but I'll stop or I'm gonna get Mr. Cleary going. This will be the final year that we provide MCAS reports. Me too. I don't mean to throw Charlie under the bus. Me too. This will be the final year that we actually send home hard copies of MCAS results. All future results will be through the MCAS family portal. And that is it for the superintendent's report.
Thank you. Any questions, comments? No? Okay. Oh, Joy?
When is the teacher opening kickoff day?
Monday.
Monday?
New teachers was today, and
Yep.
Monday, everyone reports to schools.
So there's going to be an opening seminar opening?
We do not have a convocation
Not
anymore.
doing the convocation?
No, we stopped, I believe, 3 years ago. Teachers were requesting more time in their building and in their classroom, and, you know, we would get, we usually had an opening day speaker. They were all fantastic, but we would get mixed results with how teachers felt about it. So we figured we'd save a little bit of funding.
It's just so strange with it being so early this year,
And give the
too.
teachers,
It's
give the
like
teachers the
August
time in
has
the classroom.
been chewed up, you know, so.
Yeah, and the feedback that we're getting about the more time in the classroom is all positive, so we're trying to listen.
Thank you. So did that also include opening the schools as well?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so, but I wanted to make sure. I do not have any chairperson's notes from Mr. Ruprecht. Do we have any other topics for discussion not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of the meeting?
What is our
Yep.
latest standing for the manual?
We're going to vote at the next school committee meeting because we'll have a quorum.
For what?
You're talking about for the handbook, correct?
Right.
Okay, good.
So we have the 25-26 manual was approved. We can open the start of school with
With
that.
that.
We
Got
received
that.
some feedback from one committee member on some changes. So we are going to prepare some of those changes, and because we don't have a quorum and it can't be voted on tonight,
Right.
either way, that we will present it all at once at the September meeting
So we're just rolling with the 26 right now?
for the first
That's
month,
fine.
yeah.
That's fine.
Yes, sir.
I think something I noticed, and maybe I'm behind the times as usual, but the banners on the first robotics that's up on the, are awesome.
Yeah.
And that is certainly a achievement from this district for years that is beyond competition.
Yeah,
Since we had some of the, they did very well in Houston and a few other things. So we haven't had those banners up. Those are new, right?
They've been up, I don't believe you've seen them. I think they were put up in June.
Yeah.
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 Should
they
invite
look
people
great.
to just come in and read the banners.
Yeah, you're also going to see very soon an update in the Hall of Fame case and some Hall of Fame plaques being installed right along the ramp by the gym. So the Hall of Fame has reached out and asked if we don't currently have them, the plaques. If they get us the plaques, and if we can get them access to that case, they would like to update it and get those plaques hung. And of course, we said absolutely, we'd love to have those up. So.
No, I hadn't seen them before. I was doing one of these things from the meeting, you know,
Excellent.
trying to read them all.
I'm going to move on to communications. So, on Wednesday, August 26th, is the first day of school for students in grades 1 through 12. Friday, August 28th, is kindergarten orientation. Monday, August 31st, is the first day of school for kindergarten students. Thursday, September 3rd, is preschool orientation. On Friday, September 4th, there is no school. On Monday, September 7th, there is no school in observance of Labor Day. Tuesday, September 8th, is the first day of school for preschool students. Wednesday, September 16th, is open house at the middle school. Wednesday, September 23rd, is open house at Laura A. White Elementary. Thursday, September 24th, is open house at Page Hilltop Elementary. And Wednesday, September 30th, is open house at the high school. I will entertain any motions for adjournment.
If I could just do one question, what's the time? Those open houses, is there a time attached to that, like 6 o'clock, 6:30?
Usually at 6.
Usually at 6, right? Just curious. Thank you. Sorry.
No,
And
no
I
problem.
know that we talked about it last spring a little bit. I just wanted to bring to, in case there's somebody watching here,
Sure.
about the money, the letters that we have for Eldridge and Cronin
Oh,
here.
yeah.
That's $350,000 that we got that kind of like fell out of the sky. I mean, both of our auditorium here and the auditorium at the middle school are in good physical condition, but technology moves moves at a frighteningly fast pace. And the amount of money that we're getting here, being able to split between the two are going to really make a big difference on how performances are going to be able to be perceived by the people that come here to watch them. So we'll be making, even though they look good, but technology's moved up, and I think it's going to really improve the environment in both of those facilities. I just want to thank Cronin and Eldridge for what they did for being able to get that for us. It's fantastic.
We did draft a letter on behalf of the school committee,
Yeah.
thanking them to each office. We have a draft, I have a draft RFP. I want to run that by Mrs. Fletcher at the middle school.
There you go.
And get her thoughts on it. She's definitely the more knowing other. But as soon as those funds are awarded, and I believe it's going to be grant style, so we would submit for reimbursement. But that needs to be clarified. We will get that out to bid as soon as possible.
Beauty. Excellent.
Thank you. Very needed, so.
It is.
It's a good job. Good job.
I second the motion to adjourn.
I make the motion to adjourn. Who seconds it?
At
I didn't hear the motion to adjourn.
7:37 PM.
All right.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.